Module 3, Sourcing Product. How much should you order? Before I talk about the quantity you should order, let me tell you a bit of how Amazon sales rank works. Most sellers in Amazon tend to agree that Amazon gives new product 30-day window time. Amazon is all about how to make more money. Amazon favors existing products with a lot of sales and a lot of review, but Amazon also wants to bring in new products. If you can make enough sales during the first 30 days to boost your sales rank to the first page, then it is likely that you can make a good sale in the future. During the first 30 days, you will try all the available promotion methods to make more sales, such as Amazon advertising, giveaway, coupon, early review, etc. You are giving Amazon money to rank your product, so you don't want to run out of stock during the first 30 days. If you run out of stock, your sales rank will drop immediately. All the money you spend might be wasted. You might need to do it from scratch again when your next shipment arrives. I use the word might here because from my experience, some products will never go back to the first page while others will when the inventory is back in stock. So generally speaking, I suggest you to order 2 to 3 months supply based on the order quantity you find out from your research. The quantity is what you'll find out by using the 999 method, not the estimated sales order amount from the tool, no matter the free tool or the paid tool. Because Amazon doesn't give their sales data to anyone, so all the tools are using their way to estimate the sales data. Based on my experience, the estimate will either be exaggerated or underestimated. You can order 1 month supply, though I don't recommend it. It usually takes 3 to 4 weeks to ship your product from China to Amazon warehouse. It will take another week for the product to be available for sale. You will also need to include the production time from the manufacturer. Some products take 1 month to produce. If your product sells well and you end up with no inventory, all the advertising money you spend is wasted. You will have to do it from the scratch again when your next shipment arrives. So how many units should you order? It all depends on the product and how many you have. If you order too many units and the sales don't go as you expected, you end up holding lots of inventory with no sales or slow sales. If the sales grow better than you expected, you might run out of stock before your next shipment arrives. Trying to find a balance in between. My personal advice, I prefer to be a little conservative on the first product. If I run out of stock, at least I know I found the right product and I have learned something about how the whole process works. So even if I have to do all the advertising again, it is better than holding a lot of inventory to make no sale. Again, this is business. All business involves risk. Though we do all the homework right, we might still pick the wrong product. For your first product, I want you to be a little conservative. I give the example of order quantity and the total money we need at the end of this module. If you don't have enough money, start with a cheaper product. Now, where do we order? Normally, we will order from overseas because it's cheaper over there. Or you can, if you are in the United States, you can order from United States. thomasnet.com is a website that people go to visit to find the product within the United States. The other one, Alibaba, is for the people who want to order from overseas. I will show you how to do so now. Okay, we are now at thomasnet.com. Here, you just type, you can see there are suppliers, product, DAD model, diverse supplier inside. We just choose the product here. Let's type flower pot, see whether there are someone offer to sell in the United States. Okay, look like there's nothing here. Let's change it into supplier for flower pot. Okay, now we see there are flower and plant pot. There are 71 suppliers. Let's click one of them. So you see 35 manufacturer, plastic pot, direct importer, manufacturer, fine China, custom manufacturer. Let's take a look at this one. Okay. Custom manufacturer. What do they have? They have a homepage here. Click it. Okay, they are probably offering more than the flower pot, a lot of wooden items. So let's say if you decide to order from them, they have contact us here. Just call them, and then you will go from there. Thomasnet.com is a pretty straightforward website that you can use to source product in United States. Before we go to Alibaba, let me tell you a little bit more about this. Most of us will order from overseas due to the cost. You can find suppliers on many websites. Alibaba is one of them. Alibaba is probably the most popular one right now. Alibaba has suppliers and manufacturers from around the globe. There's a difference between a supplier and a manufacturer. A manufacturer is the one who makes the product. A supplier can make and supply their product. So a supplier can also supply someone else's product. So the supplier generally offer a broader selection of products. I will use the word supplier in the course, just so you know the difference. It doesn't mean you can only buy from a supplier. You can find US companies on Alibaba too, though most of them are just middlemen. The majority of the supplier you will work with is probably from China. And then it's important to understand the difference between the US and China when talking about import. The first is language, of course. This shouldn't be a big barrier since most suppliers communicate with English. The second difference is work time. The working time is different. New York, when in the daylight saving time, has a 12-hour time difference than Beijing. So people in the United States are sleeping, people in China are working, and vice versa. United States use the imperial system, such as pounds, feet, and inches. Most of the other countries, including China, use the metric system, such as kilograms, meter, centimeter. When Chinese suppliers give you the dimension or weight, you need to know how to convert them back to the pounds or inches. You can do so by search conversion in Google, and then you use the online converter to get the number you want. The holidays are different. There is no Thanksgiving or Christmas in China. Thanksgiving starts the shopping season in the United States. So if you want to get your product for sale in the shopping season, the goods should leave China no later than November 1st. The biggest holiday in China is the Chinese New Year, which is normally around later January or early February. It will be for about 2 weeks when the plant is closed. So if you want to order inventory after Christmas, you need to consider this 2 weeks gap. And Chinese suppliers like to build a long-term relationship with their customer. During the process of sourcing product, you will meet some unresponsive suppliers. However, when you find a good one, respect each other. Don't just look for the cheapest price. Build a relationship. This is especially important if you run out of stock and they might put your order in front of other orders waiting for produce. Now let's go to Alibaba and find out how to find a good supplier. We're now at Alibaba.com. Just type the product name in the search field. Let's type flower pot. Search. The result will show all the products available here. There are lots of products. On the left side, there are different filters that you can use, such as the location, whether they are trade assurance or verified supplier. These two basically protect you in the import process. I'll talk about that later. Include the product type, ready to ship, or pay the sample, minimum order, the price, is the country, supplier's country. Management certificate, ISO 9001, ISO 14001. And some product certification. This is especially useful when you order the electronic item, CE verified, CE certified, but for the flower pot, we don't really need to worry about it. Maybe this one have, if this one has electricity feature somehow, so they certified their material, metal type, finishing, plastic type, ceramic type, if they're material, plastic, fiber. Okay. So what we need to see, what we need to pay attention here. Let's select trade assurance and verify supplier here. Trade assurance means that Alibaba will refund your money if you don't receive the product order from Alibaba or the quantity varies from what has been agreed upon. This minimizes the risk of importing from overseas. That's trade assurance. Verified supplier for whom certain aspects of its company profile, management system, production capabilities, and product and process control are being assessed, certified, or inspected by independent third-party institution via online or offline means. It used to be called a gold supplier. I would suggest you to work with a verified supplier when you start. If you look at them, you will see here, that's 1 year. It means that they are on Alibaba for 1 year. It not mean they are in business for 1 year. Just mean that they are on Alibaba for 1 year. So this guy, they are in Alibaba for 11 years. This one 1 year, 7 years. And there's a verified badge here. Let's click it, verify. So it says here, verify that the seller is assessed, certified, and or inspected by SGS Group. SGS is a third-party company in Switzerland. They are probably the industrial leader in the inspection. Okay. Let's click this one. We'll go to their company profile. They're also verified here by SGS. Let's take a look at their main product. So this is the introduction. And a business type. How many employees? The year established. They were established in 2003. Their main market, domestic market, North America, Middle East. Their main product. And their production flow. There are also quality control, RD capacity, They have trade show, Shanghai International Show, picture there. Main market, domestic market, North America. 3D metal garden pot. So this is not the supply we are looking for our plastic flower pot. Couple of things I need to mention here. You see there is a response rate. Try to work with someone with a response rate higher than 90%. Most of them are good. This is 100% response rate. Some people have a very low response rate. 88% is okay. 85. The transaction amount here. This means how much order the supplier has through trade assurance. A lot of buyers don't have order and trade assurance. It doesn't mean that they, for example, this one, it doesn't mean that they have never made any order. It just simply means that they don't have any order from trade assurance. Maybe they just receive the payment from the buyer's bank directly. Normally, when we find out a company that we want to work with, we take a look at the product they offer. As we can see from here, we find this company by searching flower pot, but we can see here they have other items they offer. Maybe garden hose can be a good product to sell. We can search garden hose back in Amazon and see whether garden hose can be a good product or not. That's one way to do the product research as well. When you find out the company you want to work with, either do it from here, contact the supplier, or chat now, or you can do the contact supplier chat now from the company page. Once you find out the supplier you want, use the contact supplier or chat now, leave messages to contact your supplier. You don't need to create an account if you select the contact supplier option, but I suggest you to create one because you can keep all your inquiry history in your account. Contact many suppliers in your first inquiry. You can compare them by their response speed, their price, their minimum order quantity, etc. With the response from multiple suppliers, you have the knowledge to negotiate the price, the minimum order quantity, etc. I usually contact at least 10 potential suppliers, then pick 2 winners. In some cases, you might not find a lot of suppliers when you search for the product on Alibaba.com. Consider whether you use the wrong keyword. Maybe the product is called by a different name. If the product name is correct, but you just can't find a lot of suppliers, the product can be either very new or too old. Double confirm the estimated order volume we got from Module 2 in market research. You don't want to go after a product which has existed in the market for a long time and no manufacturer wants to produce it anymore. Normally, a supplier will respond to you within 2 business days. If a supplier doesn't respond, move on to the next supplier. In most cases, you will receive a lot of quotes back from the suppliers, narrowing down the price, minimum order quantity, response time. When you send your first inquiry, consider yourself as a purchasing manager or assistant. This will make your business sound big to the supplier. Generally speaking, will the owner of a big company source product himself? You believe not. The first impression is important in business communication. There is another advantage in doing so. When you find out it is hard to negotiate the price or the minimum order quantity, you can tell the supplier that your boss doesn't agree with the price or the minimum order quantity, it is likely that they will cooperate with you. During the inquiry process, your suppliers might ask you to use instant messengers such as WhatsApp, Skype, WeChat. You can do so if you want. I normally copy and paste the important content in the communication into a Word document. This way I can quickly refer to some question when I need to in the future. There are terms you need to understand in this process. You will see them together with the quoted price. Don't be overwhelmed here. They are just the phrase used in the import and export industry. The first one is EXW. It means X works. This price is just the product itself. It covers no transport cost from the plant to the port, no export fees, etc. Of course, it will not cover the import fees in your destination country. To the buyer, you will have to pay all the costs after picking it up from the supplier. The second one is FOB, free on board. This price is the product cost plus all the costs until the goods are loaded into the export ship or the airplane. To the buyer, you will have to pay the ocean freight or the air freight, the custom clearance in the destination, import duty, transport cost from the import port to the Amazon warehouse. CNF means cost and freight. This means free FOB price plus the freight cost to the destination port. So to the buyer, you will have to pay the insurance in the ocean transport or the air transport, the custom clearance in destination, the import duty, transport cost from the destination port to the Amazon warehouse. CIF, the next one. CIF means cost, insurance, and freight. This is CNF price plus the insurance for the damage or loss of the product in the ocean transport or the air transport. And then there is another one called a DDP. DDP means delivered duty paid. This is the most convenient way for the buyer. The supplier will cover all the costs to ship the goods to the Amazon warehouse. No matter what type of price quote you receive from the supplier, there is another party called a shipping agent, or also called a freight forwarder, that can help you during the export and the import process. They will handle all the transport in the export country and the import in the destination country. Ocean freight or the air freight, the custom clearance, the duty payment. I will talk about the shipping agent in the module 3.8. Now here is a chart that show compare the okay here the chart. EXW is just seller just be responsible for the price until at their factory door, let's say. And then FOB, FC is not used very often. FOB means the seller will pay here their product cost, the trucking to the port, and then cargo load to the terminal, and then pass through custom and loaded onto the vessel here, FOB. CFR is also the one we call the CNF. The seller will also be responsible for the cost from after loading to the destination port here. They just don't cover the insurance. That's the difference between the CFR and the CIF. CIF just cover the insurance. And then there's another one called a DDP. We'll talk about this. Is the seller cover everything till the end to the buyer. Insurance custom. Is the duty is also paid here. Now, how to negotiate the price and minimum order quantity? Negotiating price is a common in business, same as the minimum order quantity. To build a long relationship, the supplier will have a certain amount of profit. If you keep pushing down the price, the supplier will not work with you, or they will try to cut the quality of the product. You need to find a balance between the price and the quantity, between the price and the quality. You need to find a balance between price and the quality. Unfortunately, there is not a formula to tell what is the best price. I generally compare the quotes I receive from all suppliers. You don't want to pick a significantly low price because it usually means the quality is different or the quality is low. You can tell the supplier that the other supplier offers a low price and ask them whether they would match. Ask politely. Don't go back and forth and mark down the price again and again. If you keep doing so, the supplier might not want to work with you. Same as the minimum order quantity. You can negotiate with the supplier. If you find out the minimum order quantity is higher than you expected, than your expected sales order volume, ask the supplier whether they want to help you with your first sample order. If you tell them the future order volume will be higher after the sample order, usually they will. I have a template that will help you when negotiating the price and minimum order quantity. I'll list it in the website. So for your first order, I suggest you to focus on the MOQ, the minimum order quantity, instead of the discount you can negotiate. Like I said, you want to build a long-term relationship with your supplier. You can negotiate the price again when you have a bigger order. And when negotiating the price, remember to ask their packing details. You might want a different packing than the one from the supplier. The supplier will cooperate with you, but there might be some extra charge. And then the next thing is order a sample from Alibaba. After deciding the supplier you want to work with, you should order a sample. I suggest you to order samples from 2 suppliers, so you can compare the sample and see whether they are the same quality. Normally, you will pay the shipping charge and the product cost for some suppliers. Usually, the money you paid for the sample will be credited back to you when you place the first order. Order the sample will be easy. Just log into your Alibaba account, select the product you want to order, and place the sample order. Just like you place order on different websites to order items for yourself, like going to Walmart or going to Amazon. Similar thing. You can just place the order in Alibaba.com. You can either pay by PayPal or use trade assurance. Both will protect you in case you don't receive the sample. Where should you ship the product to? There are options here. You can ship to your home, or you can ship to a third-party warehouse, or you can ship to Amazon. When I started importing, I import everything to my garage. This way I save the storage cost in the Amazon warehouse. Amazon charge a storage fee like this. If it is a standard size, they will charge 75 cents per cubic foot from January to September. They will charge $2.40 per cubic foot from October to December. Because October to December, that's a holiday season, they want to good to move it out fast so they can make more money. That's why they encourage you to send product that can go out fast instead of sitting in their warehouse. For the oversized item, they charge 48 cents per cubic foot from January to September. Oh, I made a mistake here. And then they charge $1.20 per cubic foot from October to December. October to December. If you have inventory sitting in warehouse for a long time, the inventory cost will go up. Besides, there is a long-term storage fee if it is in Amazon warehouse for over 365 days. Let's hope it doesn't happen to you. But if it does, you'll be aware that there is a long-term storage fee for that. You can also send your goods to your third-party warehouse. Non-US sellers can do so too. They usually charge much less compared with the cost of Amazon. When you are ready to ship your goods to Amazon, you can generate the heavily discounted UPS label and use that to ship to Amazon. You can search Google for California warehouse because the shipping from China to California is the fastest and the cheapest route. So if you store your product in California warehouse and then when you are ready to ship to Amazon, you can create a UPS label and ship it from California warehouse to Amazon warehouse. And lastly, we can ship directly from China to the Amazon warehouse, the FBA warehouse. Ship from Amazon directly. This is the most common way these days. If you do your research homework correctly, you will know your inventory is going to sell fast. You can save time by doing so. Now let's talk about the shipping agent. You already know your product cost. What you don't know is the cost from the supplier to Amazon. That is when the shipping agent or the freight forwarder can help. It is important to know the shipping cost. If you don't get it correct, you will find out the cost eats you a lot of profit. I will show you how to get the cost in this section. The shipping cost is never the same. It varies depending on supply and demand at different times of the year. It costs more in fall season since that is when lots of products are on the way to the US for the Christmas season. You need the correct weight, dimension of each unit from your supplier. In the shipping industry, there is a term called dimensional weight. It is if the dimension weight is higher than the actual weight. The ocean carrier or the air carrier will charge you based on the dimension weight. Here is the dimension weight formula. Length, height, multiply width divided by 6,000. The length, height, width need to be in centimeter. For example here, the length, if the product itself weight is 10 kilogram, the dimension is 86 centimeter in length, 36 centimeter in height, and 23 centimeter in width. The dimension weight will be 86 multiply 36 multiply 23 divided by 6,000. That equals 11.86. Then the carrier will charge you on the 11.86 kilogram instead of 10 kilogram. The next thing you need to know is the import duty. There's an import duty charged on the import product. Each product will fall into its HS code for the custom. HS code simply means the tariff code that the custom use for each product. Generally speaking, the import duty to United States is low for most of the products. However, from 2019, the Trump administration has set an escalated tariff on goods imported from China, leading to a trade war. Almost all products are charged an extra 25% of Trump tariff. You can find out the duty rate from the shipping agent. There are three ways to ship your product from China to the United States. The first way is called air courier or international express shipment. If the item you are going to order is very small in weight and dimension, such as jewelry, 1,000 pieces might be around 1 or 2 pounds, it is better to ship by air courier, such as UPS, FedEx, DHL, or the USPS. They offer door-to-door service, meaning that the carrier will pick up from the seller's door and deliver to Amazon warehouse. It usually takes 7 to 10 days to deliver. The cost is about $10 to $15 per pound, depending on the destination. Usually, no custom duty will occur if the seller, if the supplier marks the total value of the shipment very low. Your supplier will recommend this method if they know the order volume or the weight is small. They will get the quote for you. Normally, there is no other fee under this method. The second way of shipping is by air freight. This is common for goods needed urgently. The goods are delivered to an airport in China, then shipped to a U.S. airport by the airline. The shipping agent will handle the custom clearance. Once the goods are released from the customs, a transport company will pick them up and deliver them to the Amazon warehouse. It usually takes less than 2 weeks to deliver. Normally I would say faster, but let's say usually takes less than 2 weeks. The cost is about $4 to $8 per pound for the air freight. However, there are other fees, such as import duty, the export custom clearance, the documentation charge at the destination, the local charge at the destination, delivery charge, the administration fee, fuel surcharges, etc. The third way of shipping is by ocean freight. 90% of the world cargo is handled by ocean freight. The transportation cost is much cheaper than the air freight. There are two types of ocean shipping. One is called FCL, meaning full container load. The other one is called LCL, it's less than container load. FCL is for if your goods fit into a 20 or 40 feet container. This is the cheapest way of shipping. A 20 feet container costs around $1,500 to $2,000 from Shanghai to Los Angeles. The ocean freight for a cubic meter in the LCL shipment is usually $40 per cubic meter. However, there are also other fees involved, such as those listed in the air freight. 20-foot container, the internal dimensions are in the feet. 19 feet 4 inches long, 7 feet 9 inches wide, and 7 feet 10 inches high. The total usable capacity is 1151 cubic feet, or 32.6 cubic meter. The weight limit should be less than 20 metric tons, or 44,093 pounds. There's another term involved when you import products to the United States: custom bond. A customs bond is a contract used for guaranteeing that a specific obligation will be fulfilled between the U.S. Customs and an importer, which is you, for any given import transaction. The main purpose of a custom bond is to guarantee the payment of the import duties and taxes. Custom bonds are required by the Customs and Border Protection (CBP) of United States for all commercial import valued at $2,500 and up to clear customs. You can either buy the bond on a one-time basis or yearly basis. You can buy the bond as an individual, which is under your name, or as a business under your business name. The cost is from $50 for one time to $500 per year. You can import as many times within 1 year, still pay the $500 per bond just for once. So where to find a shipping agent? I couldn't give you any recommendation right now because I don't do the traditional way anymore. If you are interested, try to Google is the shipping agent and find out their contact information and try to get the quote from them. I will show you what I use shortly, but now let me show you a detailed breakdown of the call that I had before, because some people might have a question here. You see, a 20 feet container can load about 32 cubic meter, right? And then a 20 feet container costs 1,500, but for a cubic meter, if you ship by LCL, it's only $40. So 30 multiplied by 40, that's 1,200. It's less than 1,500. So why don't you go this way? Because there are a lot of charges here if you ship by LCL. I'll show you right now. Okay, this is the import I did back in 2018, July. As you can see here, July 3rd, 2018. These are the breakdown of all the fees here. The total weight is 475 kilogram, and the dimension, the total cubic meter, is 2.88. So they charge, this is the ocean freight here. This is the ocean freight, 217.74. That's ocean freight. And then there are service entry fee, import security filing fee, duties and subject to liquidation fee, warehouse fee, the handling charge, the cartage fee. And there are also delivery fee here. Delivery fee is $171. You can see duty fee here is $221.17. The duty is here $211.17, which is also same here. So this is the same batch. There are different fees here. So when you talk to a freight forwarder, after you give them the weight, the dimension, ask them to give you a detailed cost breakdown. Otherwise, you might see some unexpected fees. Here is what custom gives you back for the custom duty. This is the HS code we talked about earlier. The 7323930060. That's code for one type of item. This the HS code for another different type of item. You can see the tariff rate here, and here is 2%, 3.4%. So the import duty is generally very low, but right now you will see 25% for the Trump administration fee here, the Trump tariff here. This will be very, very high now. At that time, the total duty I pay is $211.17. So just be sure when you get the quote from the freight forwarder, ask them to give you a detailed breakdown. You don't want to see any unexpected fee here, like this. They will add up together to $970 to $25 for how many? For 3 cubic meter, less than 500 kilogram. So that's pretty high. So now I don't use traditional shipping agent anymore. You are probably overwhelmed with all the terms and the conditions I talked about so far. Here is an easy way. I have worked with the shipping agent who is specialized in the LCL shipment for 2 years. If you want their contact, you can please contact me in the comments below with your email. I'll let you know. They are very busy, and I don't want them to be bothered if you are not ready to ship yet. Their rate is very competitive. For the standard size goods, means the length is shorter than 48 inches. It's about $1 per pound shipping to Los Angeles. Keep in mind, the rate varies because the ocean freight does fluctuate at different times of the year. For most of the product, the import duty is included already. This is a huge advantage these days because the Trump tariff is at least 25% right now. Also, they have their custom bonds. You can use their custom bond if you don't want to buy yours. It will save you like from $50 per one time use or $500 per year, we just discussed earlier. And once the goods leave China, the transit time is 14 to 21 days to arrive at Los Angeles. And then it takes maybe 1 or 2 days for the custom clearance. Then your goods will be ready to be delivered to your Amazon warehouse. You can create your prepaid UPS shipping label from your Amazon Seller Central. The cost from 35 cents to 85 cents per pound, depending on Amazon warehouse location. I think this is the best way to ship the product from China to Amazon warehouse right now. It is not only fast but also cost effective. If you want to ship to your own house or to a third-party warehouse, they can handle it too. Now here is the example I gave you before. My old way to ship 475 kilogram, 2.88 cubic meter was this much. Add up is $1,097.02. As you can see here, 92591 17111. They add up to this number. 475 2.88 475 2.88. Okay, so the transit time was 30 days, and there was no Trump tariff back then. And then my new way to ship to 475 kilogram, 475 kilogram will be 1,046 pounds. So I said the rate is $1 per pound. So that will be 1,046 US dollar total, Trump tariff included already. And then the transit time is 14 to 21 days. Let's refresh our mind and see how the export and import process works. When the supplier finishes the production, the export and the import process start. The supplier will make a booking to the shipping agent and reserve the space from the carrier, either the ocean vessel or the airplane. And the supplier will provide export document, the commercial invoice, the packing list to the shipping agent. The shipping agent will arrange the export to Chinese customs, and the supplier will deliver the goods to the seaport or the airport. Once the Chinese customs release the goods will be loaded to the carrier, either the ocean vessel or the airplane. And then the carrier will give the supplier of the bill of lading. The bill of lading is the ownership of the goods. And the supplier will give the bill of lading to you when they receive the payment. And then when the goods arrive at the seaport in the United States, you will give the bill of lading, commercial invoice, and the packing list to the shipping agent to arrange the custom clearance. You pay the shipping agent related shipping costs, the fees, import duty. Once the goods are released from the customs, the shipping agent will deliver it to your destination, such as Amazon warehouse or your home or the third-party warehouse. Now, let's place your first order by using the trade assurance. As mentioned earlier, trade assurance minimizes the risk of import, so your first order should use trade assurance as a payment method. Usually, the supplier needs to make the product once you place the order. They will require 30 to 50% of the deposit to get started. You can do so through trade assurance in Alibaba. Once the order is finished and ready to ship, you can pay the remaining balance. For your first order, please make sure to arrange the inspection from a third party before shipment. You can find an inspection company online by Google them. If you want, you can message me for the inspection company I use. When you build a relationship with a supplier, in the future shipment, you can still use trade assurance to pay, or you can simply pay them by international bank transfer through your bank, which is also called a TT. It usually costs from $40 to $60. If you decide to do so, you normally do the wire transfer when you see the copy of the bill of lading. The bill of lading is issued by the carrier, so you know the goods are loaded into the vessel or the airplane. And when the supplier receives the payment, they will either send you the original bill of lading, the hard copy, or they will just telex release it. As long as you have either one, you can use this one for the future custom clearance when the goods arrive at Los Angeles. When you are ready to import your first order, you have a lot to do while your supplier is making the product. The first thing you need to do is get the UPC. A UPC is required when you list a new product in Amazon. This is the unique identifier of your product in the Amazon system. Certain categories may allow sellers to request UPC exemption. Since you own your product, you should give the UPC to your supplier and use the UPC when creating the listing. So where to get the UPC? Amazon suggests buying UPC directly from GS1. GS1 is an organization selling UPC. Amazon doesn't recommend you buy from other third parties selling the UPC license, but GS1 is very, very expensive, and there is an annual renewal fee as well. If you buy 1 to 10 UPC, it will cost $250 for the initial fee. The annual renewal fee is $50. If you buy 1 to 100 UPC, the initial fee will be $750, and the annual renewal fee is $150. So a lot of sellers, like me, go to a third-party website to buy. I usually go to the one called barcodesmania.com. Their UPC are valid in the GS1 database. I don't think you need to order from GS1 directly. Most sellers do not. However, I don't recommend you to order UPC from eBay or the website that no one recommends. There's another code called FNSKU. FNSKU is the fulfillment network stock keeping unit that is assigned by Amazon. We can find this in the Amazon Seller Central. If you do not want to ship your product to the Amazon warehouse, you can create a listing later. In case you do want to ship to the Amazon warehouse, we need to create the listing now, because we only need to create the listing with the basic information. So we can have the FNSKU, the shipping label, and the Amazon warehouse address. Next thing to do is create your listing. To create your listing, you need the UPC code, your product title, and images. You can use the images from your suppliers for now, because you can always change your images into better images in the future. And remember, set the price 4 times to your selling price at least. I'll show you shortly. Now let's log into our Seller Central account. Click Inventory, add a product, then you'll come to this page. This page, because your product does not exist in Amazon catalog, so you need to create a new listing. Then the next page, we will need to select the proper category. Don't intentionally put your product in the wrong category, as this violates Amazon's policy. If you don't know what category to use, check your competitor's listing and find out what category they use. For example, let's go back to flower pot. We can see here they use the patio, lawn and garden as their category. So we are going to use this category as well. So we go back to Amazon. We can also search in the find category field. We type flower pot. They give our recommendation. We can see here nursery pot seems to be a good one. So we will use nursery pot. If we cannot find any category, then what we have to do is to go by here, go category by category and find out the correct one. Okay, and then next, make sure the advanced view here is turned off on the left side. We don't need a whole lot of information to fit in right now. So we just need the basic information. We just move the advanced view here to the left. This will show us the basic information needed to create the listing. We will enter the vital information, such as the product ID. Product ID is the UPC code we purchased earlier. We enter here, we select UPC next to it, and then we enter our product name. You can enter a short name right now because we will need to optimize this in the future. The brand name, this one needs to be exactly correctly entered here for your trademark. The brand name is difficult to change in the future. It is linked together with the UPC code. So let's say if in the future you want to change the brand name into a different one, Amazon might ask you to create a new listing because they think this UPC code is this trademark. So be very careful here. Manufacturer, you can enter anything here. Manufacturer name can be changed in the future. Though I also recommend you to put a manufacturer name similar to your brand name, but this one can be changed in the future. Next, we will click the variation tab. Variation simply means if the product has a different color, different size, that's why we enter here. If your product don't have variation, just ignore this part. Next, we will click the offer tab. Offer tab is where we enter our price, our seller SKU. The seller SKU cannot be changed once we click the save and continue button. So make sure you put a correct seller SKU here. Because in the future, if you have a lot of product, it might be difficult to remember which SKU is for which product. So create something that makes sense to you. I put flower pot -1 here. Let's say in case I have other flower pot down the road, I'll put flower pot number 2, -2, -3, etc. And the last, we will click the images tab. The image tab is where we upload our images. Just upload your supplier's image for now. These images will be updated in the future. You can see Amazon list of image requirements here. You can take a look at it, see how they require the different images. And then we'll click save and finish. And now we create the listing. Why you put the price at least 4 times of your selling price? The price is the regular price. We will put the sale price and the sale start and end date when our product is available for sale. Amazon wants to offer customer value. They don't like sellers to increase the price. If you increase the price to a certain level, they will hide you from the buy box like this. You see here, you cannot see the price here. And the listing, it will say available for this seller. People have to click this seller, then they can see your price. You see, this is how a buy box look like. People can see the price right here, and then they can click add to cart. So Amazon remember your price history. If you use your regular price as the sales price, it is hard to increase the price. However, if you leave the regular price very high, but you adjust your sale price, Amazon is unlikely to hide your buy box. This is especially useful in the holiday season. A lot of sellers increase their price during the holiday season to make extra money. Next thing to do is create a shipment. So we have the product created. When you visit the Manage Inventory page, you will see the product here. You can see the product SKU, product name. Next, let's create the shipment plan. This is where we ship the product from Los Angeles to Amazon warehouse. So come to Manage Inventory page and select find the SKU we just created, and click the arrow next to Edit and select Send and Replenish Inventory. The first time you send the inventory, it will ask you to put a ship from address here. This is the address that's showing on the UPS label, the ship from address. So you can put your home address or the business address here. In case your package gets returned for some reason, the packages will return to the ship from address. If you are a seller outside the United States, you can put a rented business address here. I never had any package return. So if you want to enter a dummy price, a dummy address, for some reason, you probably can do so. Packaging type. There are two different types to select. The first one is individual product. It means you put different product, different SKU in the same carton. The case package product, meaning the same carton, the same case, contain only one SKU or one product. So that's the difference. So after we click the continue to ship plan, we come to this page. We enter the quantity here and then click continue. And here we will need to click the prep required here on the top. Click this tab, then we can click the continue button. Otherwise, you won't allow to click the continue button. So we click prep required and then click continue. Then you come to this page. And here we can click the print label for this page. This is the label that shows us the FN SKU we talked about earlier. If you want your supplier to use FN SKU instead of UPC code, you can give the FN SKU here to the supplier. So after you click the continue, it will come to the final step. Here you can enter create a name for your FBA shipment. I normally put the SKU here, so I know which shipment is for which product when I just glancing at the shipment pages. After that, click approve and continue. Now the shipment is created. Let's click the work on shipment. Okay, the ship to address here. This is Amazon's warehouse. This is the address you give to the shipping agent and to get the quote for shipping. And this is where you are going to ship your product to. Let's go down to the page and select the shipping method. Shipping method here. SPD is for carriers like UPS or FedEx. LTL shipping is by pallet. Normally you just use the SPD. Depending on the quote you receive from the shipping agent, you can select either one. If your shipping agent tells you the final delivery is by UPS or FedEx, then you select SPD. If the shipping agent tells you the final delivery is by trucking company, then you will select LTL. If you select SPD, you can either let your shipping agent create your UPS or the FedEx shipping label, or you can create your own UPS shipping label here. Because if you create UPS shipping label from here, Amazon gives you a deeply discounted UPS shipping rate. Depending on the destination, it costs from 35 cents to 85 cents per pound. Select the appropriate shipping method. Next, we will go to the shipment packing. Enter how the shipment is packed. Follow the steps on the screen. You see here we put a unit, how many units per carton, how many carton, and the carton weight, the carton's dimension. Finally, you click the print box labels button. Give the box label to your supplier. Ask them to attach the label outside the export carton. So whether you should use SNSKU or the UPC in the retail box, I use UPC in my packing. In case I want to sell the product on other channel, it looks more professional. If you are lucky enough to have your local store buy from you and sell in their store, they will need the UPC code on the retail package, not the SNSKU. Now let's talk about retail package. Remember in the previous section, we talked about retail package. If you decide to use the supplier's packaging, all you need to do is give them your Amazon barcode. This can be either the UPC label or the SKU label you created in Seller Central. If you don't want to use your supplier's package, then you need to find someone to design retail package for you. You can get the retail box dimension from your supplier. Give the box dimension to a designer in Fiverr.com or some other website. They will make the artwork for you. It costs about $10 to $30. You will give the artwork to the supplier, and your supplier will make the box accordingly. When you design the retail package artwork, remember to include your UPC or SNSKU code in it. Otherwise, you will have to apply it later on. Remember to include a logo in the artwork. A logo is a combination of text and visual imagery that serves two purposes. It tells people the name of the company, and it creates a visual symbol that represents your business. Some logos have powerful symbolic association connected to people's memory. You will use the same logo on your website, which we'll talk about later. Then you also need to prepare the product insert while your suppliers are making the first production. The product insert is different from the user manual. User manual is how to use your product. Not all products need a user manual, but all products should include the product insert. The product insert is the marketing material of your company to connect with your customer. You might know that Amazon owns the customers. You don't. Amazon has blocked the customer's real email and real phone number. They don't want you to bother their customer. So you can ask a customer to leave feedback and a product review. You can ask them some questions. But you constantly bombing customers with marketing email, Amazon will find out and Amazon might terminate your seller account. So the product insert is a good way to connect with your customer. The product insert should be short. Usually the palm size of the paper will be big enough. Make it short. You write a little bit about your company, leave a customer support email or phone number, leave a Facebook page, or ask the customer to register their product for warranty or for a coupon. Ask them to leave a product review on your Amazon product page. To be creative, try to ask your customer to connect with you. If the customer gives you their email address, you can promote to them your future product directly. This is not against Amazon's policy, and this will make their customer become your customer. There are other ways to build a relationship with your customers. I'll show you more in the marketing module. The last thing you need to do is product images. You should have received product sample already. You can either take the photo by yourself or hire someone else to do it for you. You need to mail the product to the photographer if you decide to hire someone to do it for you. Alternatively, you can hire someone in China to take the product image for you. If you search them on Fiverr.com or some other website, you can choose a location in China. You'll find many of them. I have a photographer whom I work with for many years. I usually ask the manufacturer to ship the product to him after the retail packaging is finished. And he will take the images according to Amazon's image requirement. If you like his contact, you can message me. I suggest you to take one image to show the retail package. If you want to take the image by yourself, remember to remove the background in the images. Amazon requires a pure white background for the main image. You can either hire someone in Fiverr.com to do it for you, or you can use some online tool or use Photoshop to remove it by yourself. How to find the FBA shipping cost and the monthly storage cost. By now, you should have the following already. You should have the product cost from the supplier. You should have the import cost from the shipping agent. You will also have shipping costs from Los Angeles to Amazon warehouse. Now to get all the costs of your product, there are two other parts. The first one is the FBA shipping cost from the Amazon warehouse to your customer. Second is the storage cost. There is a link in Amazon Seller Central that can help you to get the cost by entering the weight, the dimension. I'll leave a link below. So now we get all the costs. Let's talk about how much money you need to invest. Let's take a look at this example. The product you want to sell is $30. The product cost is $10. The weight is about 1 pound, standard size. If you use my recommended shipping agent, you'll get the product imported to Los Angeles for $1 or $1.25, import duty included. The shipping cost from Los Angeles to Amazon FBA warehouse is about 35 cents to 85 cents per pound. So this item is 1 pound. So this item itself is either 35 cents or 85 cents. So the cost get the product to Amazon warehouse is about $2. We add $1.25 and 85 cents together. Let's say it's about $2. Shipping from Amazon warehouse to your customer is $3.40. And the Amazon FBA commission is 15%, which is $4.50. The storage cost is 10 cents. So after $30 deduct all the cost, this gives us about $10 profit before advertising. Most of the items you choose will be selling about 100 to 200 units per month. Let's assume your item takes 30 days to produce. Then it takes 30 days to ship from the plant to Amazon warehouse and be ready for sale. So you will need to have the money for 3 months inventory. 3 months inventory will be 300 to 600 units. The product cost and the import duty to Los Angeles together are $11.25 per unit. So the total money you need to invest will be $3,375 to $6,750 for this product. You ask that what happened to the other cost. The shipping cost from Los Angeles to FBA warehouse will be deducted from your Amazon sales revenue. Shipping from Amazon warehouse to your customer and Amazon commission will also be deducted from your Amazon sales. The advertising cost can be deducted from your sales revenue too. So like I said earlier, I suggest at least 3,000 to 5,000 for your first product. Remember, all the business carry risks. Don't invest money you can't afford to lose. Now let's take a look at what we covered in the module 3. We have covered how much should you order and where to order, and how to find suppliers from Alibaba, how to contact suppliers, how to negotiate the price and MOQ, which is minimum order quantity, how to order sample from Alibaba, and where should you ship the product to, and shipping agent, and how to find all the import costs. And also, I recommend one of the shipping agent I use to save you some time and headache. And how the import and export process works. And then we talk about place your first order by using trade assurance, and the things to do in your with your first order. We need to get the UPC, create our listing, create a shipment, and get FN SKU and ship to address. And also we need to prepare our retail packages, our product insert, and the product images. And lastly, we talk about how to find the FBA shipping cost and the monthly storage cost. And then add up all together, we'll be able to find out how much money you need to invest. So that finished our module 3.